Hi, I'm Mark Sipp at Crocker Farm Auction. I'm here to discuss a very special example of Western Pennsylvania pottery that we'll be selling in our March 23rd stoneware and redware auction. This jar was made at the Boughner pottery in Greensboro, PA. Of course, when we think of the Boughners, we think they're the first family of stoneware production in Greensboro. We think of the fabulously rare examples of stenciled AV Boughner stoneware and earlier impressed pieces that are stamped Boughner, Greensboro, PA, or A&W Boughner, Greensboro, PA. Pieces made by this family are often considered some of the best pieces of Greensboro, Pennsylvania stoneware, and any stoneware collection of Western PA stoneware would be blessed to be graced with the presence of a Boughner piece. People just love the Boughner name and the pottery that they produced. They were known to use thistle stencils, cherry stencils, various other motifs, large brush tulip designs, all kinds of great freehand. They really were masters of their craft. This piece was probably made by son of Daniel Boughner, Alexander Vance Boughner, sometime during the 1860s. What we have left of his work is really masterful stuff, really great stuff. This piece is no exception. You can see it has this advertising on it. It says R. Pete, 21 Diamond, Pittsburgh. So it's a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania advertising piece made in Greensboro, Pennsylvania for this merchant. And you can see this elaborate brushwork on it certainly hints at a Boughner origin. The Boughner potters often did a lot of elaborate striped brushwork on their pieces, as well as the typical vining and things like that. The form's very nice. It has this nice tooling around the midsection, and we've seen a number of other RP pieces that really have a Boughner feel to them. And I think a lot of people generally agree that the Pete pieces were made by the Boughners, that they were the ones hired to make these jars. However, the real clincher is this capacity mark. We have a 4-gallon capacity mark at the shoulder, very distinctive. Within a rectangular border, and we actually have sold an A&W Boughner piece of a slightly earlier vintage, probably, that has that capacity mark. So that's your smoking gun right there. It's definitely a Boughner piece. And if it were just the front, if it were just a 4-gallon jar with rare Pittsburgh advertising, bold bright blue, great striping, we would say, hey, that's a great piece. But the kicker on this object are these bird designs that flank the sides. Really wonderful. I mean, to think about Greensboro, Pennsylvania stoneware with freehand decoration, actual freehand figural decoration, not stenciled, done with a brush. It's very, 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 very few and far between to find this kind of treatment done on a piece of Greensboro stoneware. And you can see just how deftly and elegantly this brushwork was done, and it really gives you a sense of just how artistic members of the Boughner family were in applying these designs, and just how sure-handed they were. And you can see it almost is reminiscent of some of the tulip designs that they would do. We have the bird's head here curving, and then this upswept wing, followed by this, again, upswept motion tail, and then these stripes here. These are brush strokes very similar to what they were doing with their striping and with their great Germanic tulip designs and all. And this tail almost looks a little bit like a tulip itself. We have another bird here on the other side, decorating it. Very, very, very cool piece. There's really no knock you can have on this piece as far as quality. I mean, sure, it'd be great if it was also signed, but we have a piece made by the greatest producer of stoneware in Greensboro, at least the most coveted producer of stoneware in Greensboro. A piece that has wonderful color, profuse decoration, and then the inclusion of actual figural designs on it. there is just really remarkable. This is the first example like this that we have seen, and we're always excited when we receive pieces from the Greensboro area of this quality, and we look forward to offering in our March 23rd auction.